Why, hello there, my dear Floof. Good to see you again. I do believe you came back for another face painting? Is that correct? Ah, gotcha. I gotcha. So, well, you came to the right place, because I do have something for Halloween. So, what do I have for today, you might ask? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Since, like I said, I don't know if I said it again, it is Halloween, and it is spooky month, so I decided to take it upon myself and actually thought today I would do something a little special, a little something different with my painting ability. So I figured just for today, my floof, I will be painting your face with all sorts of different Halloween decals, even if it doesn't feel like it. It'll be very, very simplistic. So, um, from I think we'll be doing no, I take that back. We will be doing bats, goblins. I'm goblins. What am I saying? Goblins. No, no, I don't mean that, Floof. What I mean is bats, ghosts, vampires, but the vampire will be a whole face thing, a whole face palette. The smaller ones will be the bats, the ghosts, the pumpkins. Probably sprinkle a few fall leaves in there as well, just to make it look fallsy because it is basically fall. So, what do you say we get started with this paint job? You ready? Good, good. Okay, so what I want you to do is that I want you to sit very still for me. I know it's going to be hard, but if you don't sit very still, then it will mess up the paint process. And basically, when it messes up the paint process, then that will become it's going to mess the whole thing up again. And I'll have to redo it all over again, and that that'll be more time wasted. So, hold very still. I have my little palette right in front of me, my little art palette thing right here in front of me. So, we'll get started and we'll go from there. So, I think for the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to do the small little intricacies, decals around the face, basically. Basically starting off with those bats and ghosts and pumpkins that I said, and also sprinkle in a few fall leaves as well. Um, so first, I will basically do the pumpkins first. Now hold very, very still as I try to put this on the cheek floof. Ever so steadily. You gotta blend that orange in somehow, it's not gonna look perfect. Pumpkins have this little curvature thing with them. There we go, there we go. Perfect. Alrighty, now it's time for the other cheek floof. Really struggling here with painting today, I don't know why. Right there. Right here on this cheek floof. Ever so gently. Oop. Slightly. There we go. That's perfect. Very, very perfect. Alrighty. Now we got those little pumpkins in there on the face, but it's not done. It's not perfect. See, I don't think... There we go. No, that's not finished. I got the orange on there, but it needs to have those little darker orange spots in between. So, yeah, I thought I was able to get that, but I don't think I am. Oh, red will have to do. Okay, hold very still for me as I try to get in between the curvatures of the pumpkins right here on the face. Very, very delicately. Trying to get that perfected. Because we don't want to mess this up now, do we? That floof is done there. Now I do this here. Right there in between the curvatures, make it look more realistic for that pop. And there we go. Alrighty. Now it's time for the basically little, if I can get it on here. There we go. The little sprout that's coming out of the pumpkin. So that little top root, people just usually cut off, but I don't know why. Right there in between. That's perfect. You're doing a wonderful job by staying completely still. Really good job. Do this other side. Right there. So, here we go. Now, perfect, perfect. The pumpkins are now done. I think it looks good on you. Pizzazzy. I think like, well, it looks good. Now, it's on to something else. Now, what else did we want to do? We have the pumpkins. We have, oh, the bats. So I will put those above. Actually, hold on. We will be doing the bats. Sorry about that. So I will be putting those at the top of your head, basically. Forehead, more or less, like right here. We already got the pumpkins right here on the cheek floof. Now we'll just do, like, probably the sides right here. Whichever works. So hold very still for me. Actually, I don't think this paintbrush will do. I think a smaller paintbrush will work. There we go. Really a struggling day. Alrighty. This one will do. Alrighty, hold very still. I know it doesn't look very perfect, but it will work. It works wonders. There we go. On to the next one. Right there. Put this one right here. Since we already have that one on top, just put this one right here. A little bit beside the eye. There we go. Alrighty. Now on to the next one. Hold very still for me. I know it's hard. It's giving you those tingly feelings, I see. It helps me whenever someone paints my face, and it actually just gives me that sense of. It actually almost wants to put you to sleep, kinda, you know? So, there. And the bottom one, right here. Right along this eye. Not in the eye. I meant beside the eye. There we go. So we have 2 bats on your left side, and then we have 2 bats on your right side. So we got the pumpkin done, and then we got the bats done. So I feel like what we'll do next is the ghosts. Now, I believe we can put the ghosts in between the eyes right here, if that will possibly work. Right where my red stripe is, you probably can't see it. Yeah, you can see it. So we'll put it between the bats and the pumpkin, if that works. So let me see. What else? Let me grab my other paintbrush here. I'll hold very still for me again. Yeah, I know it tickles. It tickles a lot, trust me. I know I've done it to other people and they're like, yeah, it tickles a lot. Ever so gently. Feels like I'm rapid brushing, but I'm not really rapid brushing. I'm just gently putting gentle strokes. Make sure it's actually fine and dandy. There we go. Now we will put the eyes, one right here, one right there, and then a mouth. That smiling little mouth. Just like a frown. Yeah, we'll just do a frown on this one. Okay. So, on to the other side. Right here. Gently stroking that fit. Gently. Pardon me. Gently stroking the brush. Making sure it's not too excessive. Not going too excessively. You want to make this perfect. You don't want to make this look awful. After all, I'm not the best artist, like I said. Righty. Now we got the ghost. Now it's time to do the eyes and the mouth of the ghost. One eye right here, one eye right there, and then this time instead of a smiley face, well, I think, no, we did a frowny. We'll do a frowny one. A frowny face. There we go. Okay, so I have one smiling and one frowning. So that should give it some differentiating characteristics when it comes to 2 different ghosts on your face. So now when I look at this, I see a Picasso painting. Not necessarily Picasso, but okay, we got 2 bats, we have 1 ghost, and we have one pumpkin. What else must we do to make this? I think we did the small decals. Yeah, we did do the small decals. So, we did the bat, the 2 bats. We did the pumpkin, and we did the ghost. Now, yes, I remembered now. Time to do the forehead area. So for the forehead, I'm going to add basically those little leaves on top of your forehead, kind of like out as they're falling on your face. Right in between the 2 bats. I know it'll look weird, but it's Halloween. Painting can be anything. Now hold still for me once again. As I don't want to use this paintbrush. I believe I'll use this one since it's smaller. There we go. Now hold still. Get those little itty bitty tiny leaves on there. One right here, one right there, one right there, and the other one right there. ever so slightly. You gotta make sure it's perfect. It has to have that artistic touch. Oh, these things are hard to manage, but we'll get there. We'll get through this. I know we will. Alrighty, do leaves right there. On the forehead. One right here, and one right there. Looks good. Looking like an actual spooky person. Well, not spooky, but looking Halloween ready and ready for the fall. Makes your floof look like more adorable whenever it's painted on. So that's the way I like it with my clients. I like drawing for floofs. I like it when they like their fur is all poofy. Halloween's a special time of year. I like doing these kinds of things. So now, excuse me, you look fall festive, whatever you want to call it. You're Halloween ready and you're ready for fall, even though fall is already here. So I think next we'll just basically brush all this off. So hold very still. Next, we're gonna do. What's that you ask? Oh, I was gonna get to that. Next, we're going to do the vampire. So basically, your whole face is gonna be like kind of a palish color, and what I'm gonna do is basically, uh, make the eyes dark brown, black, whichever color I can come up with, and give it that feel as if you just recently sucked on someone's blood, or you basically just, you know what I mean. Shut up, I don't know my stuff. Okay, hold very still. I think we got it. One more. Yeah, there we go. Perfect, perfect. Alrighty, now it's time to get on to the one thing. Where's my brush? Oh, here we go. This time I'm going with a bigger brush because you have to get the whole face pale. Alright, hold very still. This is also going to go over your eyes, but I'll try not to jab them. I want you to close your eyes for this. Just so I don't get any pain in the eyes, because that would be no good. So, alrighty. You ready? Good, good, good. Alright, we'll start off with this gray. That. Alrighty. Kind of like how I'm playing Pong. Sorry about that. Alright. So, we got that. Now, it's on to the eyes. Close your eyes for me. Good. Good job. Alrighty. There we go. You're looking like a decent vampire. Let me see. What else do we got? This time I'm gonna go with the small one. Small brush. Small brush. You right there. Oh, actually, no, this is a thick brush. We need this for the blood for the mouth, so very still for me right here. Ready. There we go. Perfect. Perfection. What else? What else? What else? What else? We got the blood around the mouth. We got the whole face pale. Oh yeah. I think a little bit of touching. I want to have that extra gray in there just to make it look more realistic, or that realistic effect. Do this around the cheek area, right here. Give it that little effect around the jaw, under the eyes. A little bit of darker gray in that area, whichever works. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. Looking like a nice, decent vampire who just sucked on someone's blood. I don't say blah, but blah. I had to bring that up. I had to bring that as a Hotel Transylvania reference. Come on. I know I'm not funny. It's Halloween. We're all supposed to have fun. Anyways. Alright. Let's see. We did a vampire. We did the small decals. What else can we do that is Halloween related? Oh, we can do a skull. So, let me go on ahead and just wipe this away. There we go. Perfect. Now, for the skull, we're going to use the big brush again. So, and this time we're going to paint on the eyes. Not on the eyes, but over the eyes. Okay. Let me just get this white right here. And then we shall begin again. Hold very, very still. There we go. Now I got the basics out of the way. Very, very basic painting. So now it's on to the eyes. What I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes for me again. Just so we can actually get this right without any mess ups. So hold very, very still. Very, very intricate details. There we go. There we go. Now to the other side. Very, very intricate. Don't run. Good. Good. Now that you've got your eyes closed, you can open them up again. No, not close them. It's missing the teeth. Alright. And now we are going to move on to the mouth area. Keep your mouth shut because I don't want you tasting paint. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the last thing we want. This paintbrush is not going to do. This one was only for the eyes. Let me switch paintbrushes real quick. Right there. Okay, hold very still. This is going to be tricky because it requires a lot of patience and detail around the mouth. There we go. There we go. Doing that face. Then we'll do the little lines in between. There. One right there. One right there. One right here. One right there. One right there. And one right there. There we go. Good, good. You're doing a wonderful job. You've been doing a wonderful job this whole time. What else do I want to do that's not... Okay. We did that. We'll make a little artistic change. Right above the eyes, we'll add a little crack. A spot right there. And then a little crack right there. Basically. Since I'm feeling generous about all this extra detail that I want. You want that extra detail, you know, you want it to look extra pizzazzy. Okay, we got the cracks in between the eyes. Make it seem like the skull's been almost cracked in half. Well, not cracked in half, but like... make it look like it's more destroyed. Not more destroyed, more broken. Okay, so we got the skull, we've done the vampire. Oh. Now. I think... Alrighty. I think that's all I got for today. If I could possibly come up with something else, I would. Trust me. I'm not a very artistic person, but you know how this stuff works. So, well, time to brush first. I'm going to get this stuff off of you, and then we'll go on from there. So, let me... Perfect. Now you're all clean. Well, my floof, I hope you enjoyed this wonderful little session that we had. From painting the small little decals around your cheeks and forehead and all that, to being a vampire, a ghost, and a skull. I guess a skeleton, but skull. So, but other than that, try not to eat too much candy. Dress nicely and be safe out there. I will see you around, my little, little, wonderful floof.